Hello, Interwebs. It is June 21st, 2012. This is, I don't even know what video this is. It's been about 6 months since my last one, and decided I'd post another video and carry it along. So, start this one out with a relatively famous quote. Why can't we all get along? A lot of people far smarter than I have kind of addressed that. I'm going to go a slight offshoot on that, and I'm going to talk about why, at least in my opinion, I think we all can get along. Not saying that we are going to or that it is inevitable, just that it is desirable that we all get along, and it is possible that we all get along. And when I mean all of us all. I don't mean everyone in the States. I don't mean everyone in the Western world. I mean all of us all. It's kind of a zero-sum game when you start getting further out in the technology. But that's not the point of this video. I've already ranted on that enough. And the reason why I truly believe that we all can get along is, whether or not we're willing to admit it or we're aware of it or not, it varies individual to individual, but we all share a common ground of being people. And it's been addressed throughout all our recorded history. We all know about it, but I don't think enough has been done to really deal with it and use it the way that we should. And by that I mean suffering. It is universal to the human condition that we all suffer in some way, shape, or form at some point. It's just how it rolls. It's part about being alive. It's part about being a person. And along with that universal experience, we all don't like it. There's no one, no society, no person that enjoys suffering. I mean, you can of course split hairs and get caught up in semantics and be like, well, no, this group likes to suffer in this way, or they enjoy suffering. No, you can put all the pretenses and stuff that you want on it, but almost by definition, suffering is universally abhorrent. So that's our common ground. That is, despite all the other differences we share, the core root of our existence is not liking to suffer. Now, I don't mean necessarily avoiding pain and seeking pleasure, because there's depending on perspective, what defines suffering can really change from individual to individual. But in general, we all don't like it, and that is common ground, a universally human common ground that we can begin to work from to, stop sucking, kind of globally, on large scale. There is no reason why we can't get together and start trying to stomp out suffering bit by bit. And with one clear set goal, we can kind of work towards that. Now obviously there are exceptions. There are people who aren't going to give a damn about the suffering of anyone besides themselves. I'm not sure how we can really motivate them to give a damn about suffering of people who are not themselves. But I believe there's actually a direct correlation in intellectual capacity and one's ability to care for people who are not themselves. Not necessarily linear, not necessarily direct, but I think it's there. So if need be, we could probably set up systems where we utilize that. I'll get into that in another video. It's purposely vague because I haven't quite put to words how I want to phrase that. But anyhow, why am I making this video? Because I wish to be a little slightly less passive. I think it's almost impossible to be more passive. I mean, I churn out a video and I talk for like 10 minutes once every 6 months or something. So I'm not exactly doing much to further the cause. But I want to step it up, maybe 1/100th of a notch, and be slightly more proactive. And there's a reason for this. Generally, I do not like to be all upon other people's business. I am much more of a neutral, let things play out, and not really go try and push my own will on those around me and stuff. I more try to help as best I can and stay out of stuff. And there's a very simple reason for this, and it's I never know all the facts. I could stumble upon a scene where I see some big guy beating the living daylights at some little person. I'm not inclined to go jump in there and start messing stuff up. Not because I'm afraid to get my ass kicked. That's happened before. I'm not a brawler. I'm really good at intercepting punches with my face. But because I don't know. maybe there is a reason for it. Maybe they're acting something out. There's really no way to determine. So I'm much more naturally inclined to a think first, act later kind of attitude. So generally, I don't like telling people how they should live their lives and what they should do and how they should feel and think and all this other jazz. But despite that natural inclination, which I generally think is a good one, the topics of which I'm trying to address are really more important than that. The end game is too much at stake to simply sit idly by and be like, well, whatever. Because the way we are going with the way we interact with each other on personal levels, on governmental levels, on global levels, economic, social, it doesn't matter. It's all heading to the same place, and that is a bad place to be. And really, it's something that's gone through history. It's a pretty simple idea, and that's that if we don't all get along, bad shit is going to happen. I mean, we can roll the dice as many times as we want, but eventually we are going to get a bad roll, and we're not going to be able to cope with that as a species. Because, and I've addressed this before, technological curve is going. Alright, we are right, if you talk to people far smarter than I, we are right in the exponential kick phase of things. We are just approaching the cusp of where shit's gonna start, you know, well, it actually already has, if you look at it from a historical perspective, start exploding out, crazy style. So all that new technology is going to be awesome. I can't wait to play some sweet video games that come from that. The math is going to be wonderful to hammer into my brain. It's going to be good stuff. But there are going to be serious problems with this if we're not getting along. You know, we've had firearms for a while now, but they're getting better every single day. Well, you know, so to speak. And general populace has access to them. More people have access to more information than ever before, and that's going to continue. And the thing is, right now, the ones that are slipping through the cracks, and I mean people, the people who are slipping through the cracks of society, who are not interacting with the people very much, who are having what we would consider to be rogue or antisocial ideas and stuff. Right now, they're being kept under wraps mainly because they're not always the brightest bulbs in the bunch, which may continue to be the case. But eventually, the level of technology that even they have access to is going to be able to seriously F us up. And that's only talking about just a rogue person by themselves. I mean, we have what we would consider to be entire rogue nations, entire nations of people who are willing to blow the living shit out of everything, possibly. There's no need for this, none, and that's really the cusp of my argument. It is completely pointless to the point of absurdity. Okay? No one likes to be killed. No one likes to be hurt. Why are we doing it then? We need to stop that on an individual level, on a national level, on all that shit. And as I pointed out in previous videos, start by feeding everyone, clothing everyone, giving everyone an education. I am not saying that it won't require work on the part of us all, but I mean, we're all, for the most part, we're all working now. And I know people don't really like social welfare programs. Well, some people don't. Now, you can listen in on conversations which are like, oh, food stamps, F them, lazy bastards, they should work, or illegals are taking my job and eating food stamps and stuff. But if you, and I don't recommend it because interacting with strangers, especially when you have different social and political beliefs, can be a dangerous proposition. But if you ever feel the need to, you can go ahead and press them a little bit on this. And usually, if you start asking them about ideally who the programs were designed for, usually they don't hate the program quite so much. If you're talking solely in the context of, you know, a single mother who was widowed and is working a job and going to school and needs help to pay for food. Even the most hardened rightist and, you know, survival of the fittest will say, well, yeah, alright, I don't mind kicking in a couple bucks, you know, to help someone in need like that. It's just I don't like the able-bodied people who are like me getting free stuff that I'm not getting. Now, it's kind of a jealousy thing going on. And my point is, what if we didn't have people trying to game the system? either we create a system where people can't game it, or we don't have people who want to game the system. And we can approach that problem from either end, but it's worth having that discussion. And that kind of brings me to the end of this video, which is, oh shit, I'll cover some of this other stuff in another video. But what the hell are you to do? I don't even know how you found this video, because I am really on the far corners of the nulls of the internet. But if you did, what is some practical advice? I mean, it's great to go and think, oh man, humanity, we're not going to a good place in our interactions with nations. We are really, doing dangerous things here. How the hell does that affect me? Our recommendation for anybody who's listening to this is, think about something that you want. Alright? Anything. I don't care. Me, I want us all to get along. But it can be anything. Think about anything you want. Then think about why the hell you want that. Is it because you are thinking about yourself and you are egocentric, trying to get something good, which is fine. Listen, I like stuff. I got a whole apartment full of stuff that I like. And it might not be a thing. It might be a person. It might be a feeling. Whatever. It might be crack. Who knows? Just think about something you want. Determine why you want it. And if you're cool with those reasons, go ahead and get that thing. I recommend starting small, just because that's the easiest way to go. But you can scale it however you like. But that's it. I'm like, wow, that doesn't have anything to do with making the world a better place. I'm not electing a new government by doing any of that crap. I'm not saving shit. It's small step. If you are capable of doing those things, then you have very little to worry about, because that's really how a society can function on a higher level. So that's it. I've hit my 12 minutes. I didn't cover all that I wanted to, but maybe I'll make another video sooner. As I said, I want to crank this up by 1/100th of a knot. So, thanks for listening, Internet. I will see you guys later.